The new Chris Pratt sci-fi action movie The Tomorrow War has premiered on Amazon Prime Video, and I'm here to talk about it, so let's get to it. Chris Pratt plays Dan Forrester, an average family man who gets drafted into a war that takes place 30 years in the future, where the fate of humanity relies on his ability to confront his past. So if you're new to the channel, in my reviews I discuss what I liked, what I didn't like, and then my overall thoughts. So starting with what I liked about the movie, I gotta give it up to the originality of the screenplay. The concept is pretty interesting to me that 30 years from now, humanity is losing the war to an alien race and have to go back in time to recruit soldiers to help fight that war. And part of what makes it interesting is that I think a lot of people's original thought concept about this is that why don't they just go back 30 years into the past to basically help warn the past about what's gonna happen. But the military's not trying to change the past to basically help prevent the war from happening. They're trying to basically save their present. Another thing I liked about this movie is that they didn't go into it with a franchise in mind. They didn't just do a little bit of world building just for the specific purpose of expanding on it later. This is a self-contained story that ends when this movie ends. Acting wise, I think everybody did a pretty good job too. You have your set of characters, and this movie doesn't really do a lot of fleshing out of those characters, so you really only connect with them on a general level, but that's pretty much all you need. Because these characters in the war aren't really trained soldiers, they're pretty much everyday average people, so that really helps you connect with them right off the bat. But once the monsters arrive, you realize real quick, everybody ain't gonna make it. So just from that part alone, I would say this movie does a really good job of just keeping your attention. I also like the look of the monsters too, and while there's nothing really special about them, they're also not really your generic alien monsters either. And going back to the writing again as a positive, the movie does a really good job of just giving you more than just your average popcorn action flick. Underneath all the explosions and alien war stuff, there's a lot of emotion and family dynamic and just getting a second chance to do certain things right. And the movie doesn't beat you over the head with that aspect either. You get exactly what you expect to get from the trailer, but all the other stuff is kind of woven throughout the movie in a way where it really makes more and more sense as you're watching it. As far as what I didn't like about the movie, the very first thing that comes to mind is the length. This movie is at least 20 minutes longer than it should have been. There was actually a point in the movie where I thought it was going to wrap up, and I thought to myself, that 2 hours went by pretty fast. But then I paused the movie to look at the timer and realize there's almost 30 minutes left in this movie. What the heck are they about to do for 30 more minutes? Basically, the movie doesn't really follow the normal 3-act structure, and it's not really a bad thing, especially when you look at the whole movie, but I definitely could see how some people won't like it. So in conclusion, the story was good, and I really liked how everything played out. There are a few moments where the movie does slow down a little bit too much, but overall, the movie does do a good job of giving you a self-contained story that doesn't really need to translate into something bigger with more sequels. The movie kind of has an Alien meets Terminator meets Edge of Tomorrow type vibe, but all in a good way. When it comes to movies that have had to go straight to streaming due to the pandemic, this movie is definitely on the better end of the spectrum. All that being said, I'd say this movie is worth a watch. The Tomorrow War, have you seen it yet? What did you think? Leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, hit that thumbs up and click that subscribe button to see what's coming next.